So I just got some bulbs. I got 2 packages in the mail from Eden Brothers. I got this package maybe last week, so it's been kind of in the box for a while, but just wanted to show you how it came. Here are marshmallow ranunculus bulbs. I planted these last year and I loved them. And then I have a romantic mix of ranunculus. Then here I have jumbo Shirley Temple peony roots. I think there are 2. You can see through the bag, it's already started sprouting. Definitely should be getting these in the ground or potted soon. And then the other, anemone decaying white. These corms as well. They're just coming in a different bag. I've never planted anemone before, but I know it should be the same as ranunculus. Then the other peony roots. This might be the one with 2, and the jumbo Shirley Temple might be 1. This is Duchess de Nemours. I can't really see much. Oh, I can see a little bit. I can see a few shoots growing actually. It's just like in a bigger bag. Little potting medium. Put that to the side. This one, yeah, I believe is all the begonia tubers. These come packed a little bit differently. They're, I think, only, maybe a handful. I ordered 25. And there are 5 bags, so in each one is 5 to 6. It says this is a mixed pastel. I think the begonias that I have are the trailing ones and not so much the upright ones. I figured these will look great in hanging baskets. I think some of them will gift because I definitely don't have space for all of these. I ordered them in the middle of winter here in Alaska, so I was desperate for things and probably ordered a little bit too much. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna just be pre-sprouting the anemone and the ranunculus. It's the beginning of May, and so here in Anchorage, Alaska, it's definitely okay to be planting these directly outside. I think pre-sprouting them indoors where it's a little bit warmer, especially at night, that will just give it a bit of a head start. I don't think anything so significant, but mainly the reason that I want to be starting it inside is because I'm not so sure where I'm going to be planting it out in the yard, like in the backyard or in the front yard this year. There's a space open where I planted some ranunculus last year. It's in quite a bit of shade. It still bloomed last year, but I'm sure it can bloom earlier if it's in more shade. It can be more prolific, so I might find a different place for it. Outside is still like very under construction. We just started putting in the hoop house this past weekend. And so ground posts are in. We came across some difficulties. We have the hoops bent. I've been filming all of that, so I'll post a video of it. But right now it's just still a bit of a mess. And there's a lot of work still to do to get the areas that we want to plant in ready, that I want to plant in. Brendan's been such a help, my boyfriend, putting it up and being really the muscle behind the hoop house. So I'm super grateful for that. But yeah, so we're just still a little bit behind in terms of what we're planting outside. And I'm just gonna start it in. This is, I think, like a container, probably croissants from Costco, honestly. And I just like kept half of it. There's no drainage holes, but I'm not gonna water very deeply. If I find that I'm overwatering, I can just cut a few holes in the bottom. Okay, I think it's mixed in well enough. Again, just gonna take this mixture, this potting medium, just lay down, a decent amount, a decent layer of it. I'm actually not sure how long they'll be in here for, so I'm probably gonna put more than I needed to. I think pre-sprouting should only take a couple of weeks really. Again, it might be more. I just can't really predict when we're gonna be getting the backyard ready. Both Brendan and I are super busy, just trying to quickly actually do this. And my corms have been waiting for I think a week now. We haven't planted it, or I haven't done anything with it. It's just been in the box. So I hope they're still good. It's nice that, so Eden Brothers ships it based off of what zone you're in. Since Alaska is 4B, we get them pretty late. I think this year the last frost date was really earlier than like all the averages say online when I looked it up. So they came at like a good time for when, you know, it's feasible to freeze. It won't like freeze outside and ruin them in the middle of winter. I think these corms can freeze. It's not so big a deal, but we can't keep them over winter here. These are things that if you want to keep them year over year, you have to dig them up and store them, which I might do. Yeah, I might do. I don't want to keep buying these year after year. So maybe actually because of that, I will plant them in a pot somewhere where it's easy to get through, to like tip over at the end of the season and just dig through and pull the corms out. Rather than if it's in the landscape, it just would take a lot longer. You know, I might miss a lot. Gotta really find where it was to remember. These come with a decent amount, so I think it's 20 per package. This is the romantic mix. So these are what the corms look like, kind of octopus-like. There's a top where the stem comes out of, and the roots, I believe, also just come out kind of from the top and work their way down. And these little tubers are what store all the energy. The little legs on the bottom. What you can do with these actually is soak them overnight for a few hours, and they'll be better to plant. I can't remember if I did that last year. I'm just gonna put them straight in and make sure I keep everything moist. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's okay. Yeah, and I'll just like be on it probably twice a day, checking and making sure it's all moist so they can get hydrated, and that'll be, you know, their kind of signal to start growing. You know what, on second thought, I think I am gonna soak these corms. I just got some Tupperware that I have filled it shallowly with water. Some people put a bubbler through their water container while they're soaking corms or bulbs or what have you, seeds, bean seeds in particular. I think if you're not going to be doing it for too long, I'm probably just going to let this go for a few hours. Just having a shallow amount of water is good enough. You just want the water to be oxygenated, and the high surface area of a shallow piece of water can do that. Can ensure that you're doing that for a short period of time. So here I'm putting in the romantic mix. I'll add in the anemone because they look different. I can easily differentiate them. I don't have to use another piece of Tupperware. Less things to clean is always better for me. This is another package of 20. I'm just gonna let these sit, the ranunculus and the anemone corms, for a couple of hours. They'll plump up. I'll show you what they look like, and then I'll add them to the soil. And this other one, I'll go ahead and put in the marshmallow ranunculus corms. Here are the other seeds that I have soaking. Okay, so it's been like maybe a couple of hours, maybe even less than a couple of hours. I can already see these are the ranunculus marshmallow corms. They've definitely plumped up. They've definitely hydrated, gained a bit of volume. I'm a lot more comfortable planting these up than when they were dry. The anemone corms look the same. I mean, they still kind of have this shriveled acorn look to it, but more plump than when they were. This one kind of looks nice. Okay. So I just have been letting the corms soak while I've been planting up my beans and snap peas. And because I use a bunch of that soil for it, I'm just gonna replenish it. Or I use a bunch of this soil that I already put in this pan for the beans, for starting my beans. Just gonna refill this up. Covering it up lightly. I'll water these in pretty well. I'm sure it's all going to dislodge. I think it's okay if some of the corm is sticking out, as long as it has space enough of it's covered where the roots are coming out of, so that the roots won't dry out. Let me zoom in to show you a little better. My dog is taking a nap. And I mostly do all my gardening, by the way, all the indoor stuff on my kitchen floor. We just don't really have a dedicated space for it. I like the kitchen floor. This is something I should look up, but pretty sure the pointy part is at the top because it looks like there's an old dead dried up stem coming out of the top of it. So that's my reasoning. That's what I'm gonna go with. And what I'm doing, by the way, is I'm pulling the corms out of my Tupperware, soaking in water so I can see them better because the water gets super murky. Just so I can judge how many I have left, how much space I should be saving, or how tightly I need to pack it in. Because I definitely don't want to be using another, container to be sprouting these. I already have so many like seed trays and seedlings inside the house. It's just getting to be a bit too much. Glad these ranunculus and anemone got planted. Glad that I got, some of the starter round of beans going. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.